This story is called Big Mamas. It's written by and illustrated by Donald Cruz. Did you see her? Did you see Big Mama? We called our grandma Big Mama. Not that she was big, but she was Mama's mama. Every summer we went to see her. Mama, my sisters, my brother, and me. Daddy had to work. He'd come later. It took 3 days and 2 nights on the train. Now we were nearly there. Cottondale, Cottondale, next station stop, Cottondale, yelled the conductor to the nearly empty train. Don't leave no babies on this train. He made the same joke year after year. My Uncle Slank came for us by car. We always hoped he'd come with the horse and wagon, but he never did. We crossed back over the train tracks, a turn or two along the red dirt road, and onto the lane in front of Big Mama's house. Big Mama and Big Papa were waiting for us on the porch. There were hugs and kisses and, "Oh my, how you've grown," and, "How tall you are! Is this you?" Then off with our shoes and socks. We wouldn't need them much in the next few weeks. Now, to see that nothing had changed. In the hall, the sewing machine that you had to pedal like a bicycle, the big clock over the fireplace, the wind-up record player, the kerosene lamps, and the Sears Roebuck catalogs. Our room, my brother's and mine and Uncle Slank's. Across the hall, the room where my sisters and Mama slept. Next to it, Big Mama's and Big Papa's room. Then to the back porch. Off the porch were 3 rooms. The tiny extra room, no bigger than the bed in it. None of us wanted to sleep there alone. The dining room with the big round tables and chairs, and next to it, the kitchen. On the porch was the washstand, where we washed our hands, faces, and feet. At the end of the porch was the well. Don't fall in, we were told every year. No one ever did. We stood on tiptoe to watch the bucket go down and fill with water so that we could have a drink from the dipper that hung nearby. Everything was just the same. In the backyard was the chicken coop, where Sunday dinner's chicken spent its last days. Behind the shed full of old stuff was the outhouse. Okay now, but scary in the dark. We stopped for a drink at the pump. We ran past the pear tree where the turkeys roosted at night. Under the tractor in front of the tool shed was a good place to look for nests with eggs in them. Next to the tool shed was the huge empty pot for making syrup from sugar cane juice. I dug some worms from the big pile of cane pulp. Wigglers were the best kind for fishing. I chose a pole. The barn was another place to look for eggs. Onto the stable to see Nancy and Maud. Maud was friendly, but Nancy was a biter. Down the path, past the cow pen and the pig pen, to the pond. The flat-bottomed boat was still there. Plenty of water for fishing and swimming this year. Everything just as it should be. "A fish! A fish! I got one! I got one!" I yelled. "Woo! Woo! Woo!" The train whistle. Dinner time. Everybody sitting around the table that filled the room. Big Mama, Big Papa, Uncle Slank, our cousins from down the road, and all of us. We talked about what we did last year. We talked about what we were going to do this year. We talked so much, we hardly had time to eat. The night was jet black, except for millions of stars. We could hardly sleep, thinking about things to come. Some nights, even now, I think that I might wake up in the morning and be at Big Mama's with the whole summer ahead of me. That last page of the book has a self-portrait drawn by Donald Cruz. On this page, you can see a photograph of Donald Cruz talking in a very short YouTube clip about his influences as an artist, the kinds of children's picture books that he read when he was younger. The URL at the bottom there is how you can find that clip. Donald Cruz was born in Newark, New Jersey, went to Cooper Union School, served in the Army, was overseas in Germany, got married, had a family, became an artist and a storyteller and an author, and lives in the Hudson Valley, upstate New York, north of New York City. And this was his book, Big Mama's, written by and illustrated by Donald Cruz.